almost over, Raider Nation. As I walk through this stadium and I listen to the silence, all I do is think about you. Imagine Raider Nation, one by one, filling the stands to root on your team. Why? Because that's what we do. Al Davis talked about the fire that burns within, where each and every one of you is an individual fire. And that fire is contagious, and it'll light a fire under each and every player on this team. And they'll understand what you need from them. Work hard, make plays.
This game will put us on the map. Yes, sir. Let's go.
So Raider Nation, let's get ready. Let's get ready to scream. Let's get ready to yell. And let's get ready to cheer on our team. Let's go!
And welcome to the first Raiders game in Las Vegas with fans on hand. 65,000 strong. It's a full house of silver and black for the Las Vegas Raiders and the Seattle Seahawks in the preseason opener. The place owner Mark Davis calls the franchise's Field of Dreams as the Las Vegas Raiders make their move onto this brand new field. The culmination and effort from thousands of people to build Raider Nation this dazzling new home in the desert. It's the same mentality, just win, baby, and in a brand new house. And we welcome you to Las Vegas. I'm Beth Mowens, along with Raider legends Matt Millen, and we've also got Rich Gannon. Guys, you guys have been through so many great times, built so many great memories for Raider Nation, about to build some new ones today.
Yeah, Beth, I'm excited. I'm really excited for the fans. They were out there early this morning tailgating. It's been a while. You have to go all the way back to December of 2019, the last time Raider fans got a chance to see their team in person, all the way back in Oakland. They're chomping at the bit to get into this place. It's going to be a huge home field advantage. And just up the road in Henderson, Nevada, is one of the finest practice facilities and team headquarters that I've ever seen, Matt. I still believe these facilities the best in all of professional sports.
It's not even close. Look, years ago, Al Davis had a dream to have a stadium that put him on equal footing with other owners in this league. Well, his son Mark Davis brought that dream to fruition. This place is unbelievable. There's nothing like it in the league. This is exactly what he needs. And if his team matches the facility, they're going to have a Super Bowl run.
Yeah, the commitment to excellence continues with a few new faces, another rookie class on board, and a couple of guys we're going to see tonight that could very well be in the starting lineup for opening day.
Yeah, Beth, let's start on the offensive side of the ball. I'm excited to see their first-round picks, Alex Leatherwood. He is a big, strong, physical mauler. Played left tackle, left guard at Alabama. He'll line up on the right side. He's going to be a good one, man.
Oh, he's excellent, and I'm anxious to watch the defense. Trayvon Merrick, the safety they got, this kid's got skills. He can hit. He understands coverage. This guy, he's got the whole package. He just needs to put it together.
All right, it should be a spectacular night here in Las Vegas. 65,000 fans on hand, a packed house for Raider Nation as we open up the preseason. The Raiders and the Seattle Seahawks. ACC punt returner and kick returner for the Panthers last year.
If you had any kind of look at him in training camp, which we did, that's a thick man. That guy's he's got a big, thick, nice upper body, and he can scoot pretty good. Anxious to watch him.
I'm really anxious, Matt, to watch a lot of these young players. You know the nerves are really going. It's the first opportunity to touch the football in the National Football League.
And, of course, always a spot for Rich Bisaccia, close to his heart, to pick one or two of these guys perhaps to be a key special teamer and make that roster of 53. As Turner spins it out across the 15 to the 17-yard line and a 13-yard return. Probably won't see Derek Carr, Marcus Mariota tonight. We will see a whole lot of Nathan Peterman, the fifth-year man out of Pittsburgh. Played in 3 games last year, Rich.
And a great opportunity for him, Beth, to get a lot of extended playing time tonight. Here's a quarterback who's been in the system for a couple years now. He understands the concepts, the principles. Will have a lot of freedom and flexibility at the line of scrimmage. The challenge for him, though, is managing these young players around him up front and the specialists as well.
Trey Regis, the rookie out of Louisiana, is the lone setback, and they'll use him in play action. And the first play of the preseason in front of the fans is going to be a sack for Brian Monet.
They tried to go deep down the left side. Looks like they had a little pressure on the top left side of that offensive line. Keep in mind, you're going to see what you're looking at right here. Parker Simpson, James, Lester Cotton, and Alex Leatherwood. Guys you want to keep your eyes on tonight is 68 and 70.
Doss and Zay Jones will start at wideout, and Alec Ingold will see some time at fullback. Loss of 2, 2nd and 12. Peterman out into the flat, and a catch for Zay Jones. Everybody in the receiving corps, guys, taking a step up. Ruggs, Renfro, Edwards, the expected starters, and then the veterans behind them, Jones, John Brown, and Willie Snead, probably.
And they need more production, Beth, from this wide receiving corps. You think about how productive Darren Waller was last year. He had almost twice as many catches as the nearest wide receiver, so they definitely need more from those young wide receivers.
Nicely done by Zay Jones there to pick up a couple extras, give him 3rd and manageable right here.
That was offensive coordinator Greg Olson looking at, and Peterman has the first down yardage out across the 27 to Derek Carrier, the tight end.
First thing you want to look at there on 3rd down when they know they're going to go throw is the protection up front. That time, very nicely done. Had time to step up in the pocket and find him across the middle.
For every Raiders first down at Allegiant Stadium this year, American First Credit Union will be donating $100 to the Raider Foundation. First and 10. And Trey Regis, who I think in training camp has already slid comfortably into the nickname Trey Vegas, gets the carry.
I really enjoyed our visit yesterday with offensive line coach Tom Cable. He said the keys for the game for that group up front, a lot of different bodies in there. No free hitters on the quarterback and pass protection. He wants to see good pad level, man. He wants to see these guys come off on the football and knock some people back.
Yes, that's the most important thing is pad level. And you can tell, just watch inside in that offensive defensive front and see who comes off the ball the lowest. Low man wins. It's all about leverage.
More play action, and across the middle, incomplete, intended for John Smoke Brown.
You're not kidding, Beth. Smoke. Spent his first 7 seasons with Arizona, Baltimore, and Buffalo. The nickname in college was Smoke at Pittsburgh State. And I can see why. At the 2014 NFL Combine, he ran a 40-yard dash in 4.34 seconds, which was the 3rd fastest time of any player ever at the Combine. He's got unusual straight-line speed. Al Davis would have loved John Brown.
Yeah, we had a guy like him called Cliff Branch.
Yeah. Well, I hope soon to be Hall of Famer Cliff Branch deserves that spot in Canton. Of course, a couple of Raiders we'll be talking about tonight did get the call to the Hall. Peterman looking to go over the top down the far sideline, and he drops it right into the hands of Zay Jones. First down into Seahawk territory, Matt.
Rich, you gotta love that throw. First of all, nice job of Peterman stepping up a little bit. He's getting a little bit of pressure. They brought an extra guy, but he knew exactly where he wanted to go right from the start. Looks to the right, knows he has it on the left side, and he's using that sideline as an extra help. Look how he throws. That's a perfect throw.
Great anticipation and timing. Nice job getting it up and down quickly.
28 yards on that hookup. Peterman on the rollout. Carrier picks up a couple. Upended by Ryan Neal.
In a league where there's not a lot of depth at the quarterback position, the Raiders have a bunch of them that can all play. And Nathan Peterman, as I mentioned, Beth, he's been in this system. He's an interesting quarterback. He's mobile. He's athletic. He's got some toughness to him. He can run around. I think he's become a better pocket passer, something that's really important in John Gruden's offensive scheme.
2nd down and 6 with the new center this year, Andre James, and the new right tackle, Alex Leatherwood. Their first-round pick, number 70. Good protection for Peterman. He's got time, and Regis is able to reach for first down yardage. And Rich, you know that the familiarity with Gruden and this system critical for a guy like Peterman.
It is, and even for a guy like Derek Carr, this will be Derek's 4th year in the system. So just think about it. They're not starting from scratch. There's probably going to be 11 new quarterbacks in the league this year, different starting quarterbacks. The Raiders have continuity and consistency at the quarterback position, and that's absolutely critical.
Keep in mind also, Peterman has experience. So he got the snot beat out of him in the beginning.
He did.
Up in Buffalo. But right now, look, this offensive line is doing a really nice job.
Descriptive as always, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Matt Millen.
I'm not supposed to say that.
Of course you can.
I mean, anymore, I think you can say anything.
B.J. Evans
all good.
with the carry. Rookie out of Florida Atlantic.
I'm interested to see Andre James, guys.
Yeah.
He didn't play a snap last year on offense, primarily a special teams player. Just one career start. Certainly a player who needs reps. You put a lot on the shoulders of the center in this offense. That's the communication hub of the offensive line.
Yeah, he's a bright kid, though. The guy he knows his stuff, and they'll listen to him.
Peterman looking for Jones. Got some separation inside the 5. Did he hold on as he went out of bounds? They're saying he did at the 4-yard line.
That's another nice catch by Jones, but a tremendous throw. Good protection. He stays in the pocket, knows where he wants to go. Look at his ball. Right where it has to be. 1, 2. Oh, yeah, that's a catch for sure.
I'm really impressed, Matt, with his anticipation and his time. He's doing a nice job pushing the ball down the field, especially against man-to-man coverage, giving Zay Jones a chance to go up and make a play.
Second pass play of over 20 yards. First and goal. Eric Groshek is the fullback here. They'll run it with Emmons up the gut. This is a point of emphasis, right, Rich? The red zone touchdown percentage last year was only about a 50-50 proposition.
It was, but one area they were pretty good, though, Beth, was in the goal-to-goal situations. Yes. They were one of only 2 teams, Atlanta being the other one to score in every goal-to-goal possession. 37 times down here, 23 touchdowns and 14 field goals. But you're right, the red zone offense has to get better. The perimeter of the red zone offense, when they're outside that 10-yard line, they've stalled too many times last season.
Regis the lone setback. 3 tight ends to the right side. They'll run that way, and they will punch it in. And now the officials running on to say the ball may have popped out at the 1.
I think they're going to rule him just short.
They're going to rule him just short.
That's good. That's what they need. Line up, stay low, come off the ball. This was right now, look at the line of scrimmage. See, it doesn't move, but everybody stays on somebody. So it's up to the back to be able to have eyes, right? And so he falls a little bit short here. Let's see who wins this next battle.
And Matt, again, this is where it's critical. We talk about low pad level. I want to see those 5 big guys up inside come off low, fire off, and knock some of those white jerseys backwards.
3rd and inches. Peterman keeps.
I don't think he got in.
No.
He was too high.
Yeah.
When you talk about a quarterback sneak, you've got to get low. And he just stood right up.
Ben Burke-Curvin led the charge. So the early call here for John Gruden, 4th and inches.
How high he is.
Yeah, he stood up and he pushed the ball out forward without getting any power behind. See that right there?
Could have gotten knocked out. He's lucky.
Yeah.
Offense remains. Zay Jones wide left. Regis again in the backfield.
I like this. Let's see what you got. How tough are you?
Regis runs it and scores it.
Nicely done.
Down in the south end zone. Home of the new black hole. Touchdown Raiders.
Got behind that offensive line and just snuck behind it, right? Get that defensive front moving and just come right behind. Well done. Good eyes. That's good vision by Regis.
Good get off, good pad level, and a good finish, and a good opening drive, Matt, to start the game. And what was impressive to me was the Raiders sideline. You look at those veteran players, how excited they were for the rookies and first-year players out there competing for the first time.
I was excited about this offensive line, man.
Yes.
They stayed on people. They gave them time. And Peterman, that's a great first series.
Credit One will be donating $2,000 to local charities for every PAT the Raiders make this season. There's another one. Proceeds will benefit Las Vegas After School All-Stars and the Boys and Girls Club. 14 plays, 83 yards in 7.5 minutes. Opening drive, a good one for Las Vegas. Raiders with a couple of plays of over 20 yards. Nathan Peterman and a friendly new target in Zay Jones. 3 catches 37 yards, guys, on that drive and a 7-0 lead.
We can talk. He dropped some dimes right there. Zay Jones, a nice job of keeping feet in, but the offensive line gave him time. That's what I'm most encouraged about.
Of course, 3 starters no longer with the Raiders from a year ago. Rodney Hudson in the middle. Gabe Jackson, who is with Seattle now, and Trent Brown.
High-priced veteran players with a lot of experience and real opportunity for some young players. And as Tom Cable said, guys, how quickly can this group come together?
That's it, about young guys. But I know one thing, the attitude, it's a younger team, but the attitude that's on this team right now, it's like, hey, let's get good. They want to get better. That's an encouraging sign.
Geno Smith will get the start for the Seahawks at quarterback. And speaking of young guys with opportunities, that's kind of the story of this Raider defense. And that's one of the reasons why John Gruden wanted Gus Bradley for this job as the new defensive coordinator. A system that they can adjust to quickly. First completion is to Freddie Swain. And there is one of the new guys, Malcolm Kuntz, the defensive end. Rookie out of Buffalo, 3rd-round pick. He'll start at defensive end. Tanner Muse has been penciled in as the new starter on the outside. And look at that group. In the back, Merrick Abram, Keyshawn Nixon. That was intended for Wood Anderson, incomplete 3rd down.
Well, between free agency and the draft, the Raiders provided new defensive coordinator Gus Bradley with 13 new players.
Gus Bradley wants his team just to go fast. And so when you do that, the first thing you do is to simplify your defense. You can see he's had experience, he's had success. But when you're putting it in brand new, you got to simplify things and take the thinking part away so you can just react. Now they're matched up, look like a little bit of man on top.
Geno Smith looking underneath, and it's caught for the first down out across the 45 to Aaron Fuller.
Well, that was really good. Arnett had good coverage. I mean, he was right there to make the tackle. Yeah, he's tracking him right there, right across the middle. He knows the ball's coming. Now so he goes for the pick. Kept his arm to the top side, but he didn't wrap it up.
And that's a young player that needs to really take advantage of some opportunities here in the preseason. Guy that really struggled a year ago dealing with some injuries.
He's got the skills, Rich. The kid's got some really nice skills.
Incomplete on first down. Time for tonight's Shift 4 resume for Raiders defensive coordinator Gus Bradley. Famous for Seattle's Legion of Boom, and most recently with the Los Angeles Rams, and now rejoining John Gruden.
Well, as Matt said, Beth, his philosophy really is a player-friendly system where young players can come right in and play. And you learned that from his time in Seattle with John Schneider, the general manager, and Pete Carroll. And Richard Sherman, Cam Chancellor, Earl Thomas, all of those young players came in and contributed immediately.
And of course, that was the Chargers, not the Rams. Good pressure off the edge. And the sack in the back, Nate Hobbs.
Hobbs came, they had no idea. It was created the pressure that gave him the sack fumble. And it's going to be a Raider football right here. Hobbs came, they had no idea, Rich, that he didn't have any idea where it was coming from.
There's a stinger, came right off the slot. Geno Smith never felt him come. It's going to come right off the slot there. And it's a poor job in protection. Geno Smith has no idea.
And Rich, the other part is Philon inside 96, who recovered the fumble, took it away from him. He had nice pressure to the front to his face, which probably kept the attention of Geno Smith and allowed the sack to happen.
And that's really going to help. Just, Matt, you talk about some bigger bodies inside, guys that can push the pocket, guys that can be disruptive inside and pass with the pass rush.
Philon was a guy that you watched, and he had some quick twitch. He can get off the ball, and he was able to make some plays. And
they're going to review this because it looked like Geno Smith was down on his back when Philon peeled the ball out of there. We'll take the timeout as the officials give a closer look. Could be Raiders ball when we come back. Well, upon further review, they determined that Geno Smith was down when the ball popped out, but it still is a sack and a loss of 8 yards for Hobbs. And Geno Smith got hurt on the play as well.
I think he banged his head pretty good on the grass.
So the new quarterback here is Alex Magoo, a fourth-year man out of Florida International.
So there's only people about maybe my age who would remember Mr. Magoo.
Stop to adjust the
I remember
chains
Mr.
for first
Magoo.
down.
I love this car,
Cartoon?
man.
Yeah.
I love this car. That guy that took advantage of him, though, every time he wanted to get his car fixed, Matt, that guy was always taking advantage of him.
Well, he could never see, so maybe this Mr. Magoo won't have good vision.
I'll tell you what, the Raiders, I like the fact that the Raiders are getting around the quarterback, affecting the quarterback from the pocket, especially early in games.
Interestingly, Gus Bradley traditionally is not a big blitz guy, but he brought him off the edge there that time, and Nate Hobbs was able to get there. Nate Hobbs familiar with this. Lovie Smith had him at Illinois. They played a similar scheme.
So when we do get going again here, it's going to be 3rd and 15. The Seahawks would need to get out across midfield.
Yeah, Beth, earlier he said it would be 2nd down, but clearly it's 3rd and long.
And now the Raider players are stirring up the crowd.
Yeah, if you're the Raiders defensively now, 3rd and long, you got to be thinking screen or draw. You get the ball out quick. You got a quarterback that just came into the game. The last thing the Seahawks want is for him to drop back and take a couple hitches and hold the football and have something bad happen.
The season a year ago here without fans, and the return of Raider Nation this year in the house, making some noise.
So, Rich, if you're an inside rusher and you're coming inside and there's any back around, you make sure to bump into him on your way there. You want to slow this thing down to the middle.
Seattle's got a new offensive coordinator this year, Shane Waldron, and I'm sure he knows that Geno Smith just left the game, and the last thing he wants the young quarterback to do is to drop back and hold the football against this Raider front.
They have adjusted the chains on the far sideline, so it's now 3rd and 18 from their own 44.
Screen, draw, or something quick.
And another stoppage before the play starts.
Pistols are having a difficult time with the spot. We know it's 3rd down. I'm not certain they're sure whether it's 3rd and 19 or.
They should just ask us. We'll tell them. So you got Nassib in at one end, and you got Farrell in the other end, and the inside guys are going to be the key. So you have Philon in there, and you have Quentin Jefferson in there, 97. Slow things down in the middle, but you still want to get a push.
To 6:28, 6:28.
Now this was a clock issue, 6 minutes, 28 seconds. Of course, Quentin Jefferson, one of the free agent pickups up front, along with Solomon Thomas, Yannick Ngakoue, and most recently Gerald McCoy. You have some terrific veteran presence up front now for the Raiders.
So you're anticipating going to have a zone. Anything underneath is fine. You just want to be able to come up and make the tackle.
4 guys coming. Yep, there is the screen to the right side. Flag is down, and down goes the runner, Alex Collins.
That's going to be a penalty on the Raiders, I do believe. They're going to get Carl Nassib for personal foul.
Roughing the passer.
There's just no reason for it. Third and a bunch, 3rd and 19, and you hit the quarterback in the face. Just watch Nassib up the top of your screen. Yeah, that's not a great call. He just pushes the quarterback.
Yeah, he didn't even go down. Tough break there for the Raiders. Lan Clark, our referee tonight.
You get anywhere near that quarterback's face mask or helmet, and they're going to throw that flag. Not the same. Back in the day, Matt Millen used to rip quarterbacks' helmets off, throw them to the boundary, and then just laugh at them, and that was okay then. Well, apparently it's not okay anymore.
What is this game turning into, Rich?
They're too soft. These quarterbacks are too soft, man. I couldn't have played back in your day.
I started with Rich Gannon and Matt Millen, and I ended up with Waldorf and Astoria from the Muppets up here.
Oh, that's funny. Oh. That actually, though, Rich, that is a factor in today's football game. I mean, that was part of the game plan, was how tough your quarterback was. It's not like that anymore.
Stadler and Waldorf. Well, there's a first down throw. To the 25 in a gain of 17. That'll move the chains to
they're going to come
Cody
back.
Thompson. Geno Smith is back in the game, by the way.
Yeah, they're going to bring it back. It's a penalty.
Offense number 78.
Holding against the Seahawks.
You play first down.
Yeah, right inside there.
Well, Farrell was held and 2 on the right side.
So this will go all the way back into Seattle territory. Geno Smith now in his 8th year out of West Virginia, former second-round pick, as you see Pete Carroll patrolling that sideline. 12th year in Seattle now, the age of 71. Playoff team once again last year. Geno on the rollout, pressure coming, and he'll have to throw it away. That was Cleve Farrell coming after him.
That was also good defense down the field. Just playing a zone 2 over the top. And they took everything away, just dumped it. Good coverage.
And just a 4-man rush, but good rush lanes, very disciplined with a mobile quarterback like Geno Smith. As you mentioned, Matt, really sound coverage on the back end.
Nice job also by what's his face, 94 up there, Carl Nassib, because he got in front of it and didn't give him any escape.
2nd and 20. 4 guys coming again for the Raiders. Throw underneath, incomplete through the hands of Thompson. And it's 3rd and long.
That's dangerous. You have a quarterback and a receiver running a man-to-man route into a zone coverage. So you've got to be able to see out in front of throws, and if you're a receiver, you don't watch what's out in front of you, you're going to get knocked out, man.
Oh, yeah. We counted on that. Jack Tatum was out there. You never threw that ball. A man route in the zone coverage. They'll do the same thing here. Rich try to keep everything in front of them, see what this 4-man rush can pick up.
Smith out of the gun. Has a man at midfield, tripped up at the Raider 45. That's Freddie Swain, and it's 4th down after a gain of 7.
And that's exactly how that defense is supposed to work. Get your depth, keep everything in front of you, make the tackle.
Javen White from UNLV. It's a big night for him, big preseason for Javen. Trying to prove he's worthy of a roster spot when they cut down to 53.
He can run. That's the one thing he can do very well. Got a lot of learning to do.
Michael Dixon to punt from just outside his 40. DJ Turner standing at the Raiders' 8. And short and fair catch around the 10. A punt of 36 yards. The Raiders defense holds. They scored on their first possession. Their second coming up. Time for Through the Air, brought to you by Allegiant, the official airline of the Las Vegas Raiders.
Well, really good start for the Raiders offense, and in particular, Nathan Peterman, 6 of 7 for 76 yards on that first drive. Made a couple beautiful throws. Nice job holding the safety with his eyes, getting the ball into the receiver's hands and put it in really in the position where they can get into the transition of the run. I just felt he was very comfortable operating and functioning from the pocket.
I agree with you. And a lot of that is that offensive line. Nicely done by Leatherwood and Andre James inside and a host of those other guys.
Keelan Doss, DJ Turner, your receivers here. And around Turner off the left edge out to the 15.
A nice pickup there, 6 yards. Gives you a second and ability to be able to do what you want, run or pass here.
You know, it's very noticeable for me through the first few minutes of this game is the speed and tempo with which the Raiders are playing. You know, a lot of times in a preseason game, you get guys out there thinking this team is playing fast and with a purpose, and I like it.
Marcel Aitman now into the ball game in the slot right.
Oh, that's
try and dump it off.
Yeah, but that was really nice by Peterman, okay? Peterman wanted to go down the field, and he had to go hot right away. and because he had it coming and he saw it right in his face and he dumped it right away, as opposed to what we saw on the other side where he took the sack over here early with the Seahawks.
Yeah, you got a free blitzer, and just like to see him make that throw. Yeah. Give that running back a chance to make a play in space.
3rd down and 4. Checks. The Seahawks back off. They do force him out of the pocket, and his throw out to the 20-yard line. The spot is a good one for the Raiders. 1st down to Keelan Doss.
That is all on Peterman. They got some pressure. They came off the right side. Leatherwood led him to the top side. You watch, he's looking inside, then he has to get to the top. Now this is Peterman right here. Eyes still down the field, knows where he has to go with the football. The ball's right where it needs to be. Well done.
First and 10, Las Vegas. Emmons hit in the backfield. He loses a few.
Ran right into the blitz, Rich.
And we go, Marty.
You didn't see it, Matt. We talk about, you only get 65 or 70 offensive plays. You don't want to waste them.
Right.
Defense number 52.
Good point. Keep talking about that.
Penalty.
And John Gruden, he gives these quarterbacks the opportunity to change plays at the line of scrimmage. You got to make sure you look on that slot corner and make sure you don't have a stinger coming off the edge. You can see Coach Gruden there. He really puts these quarterbacks in a position not to waste plays. If you don't like the look, we give you a menu. He talks about a menu of plays that you can get to. That just comes with experience.
They do get some help with the offside penalty. Looks like another 1st down to Keelan Doss.
I mean, overall, right now, what we're seeing out of Peterman, I'm pleased with. He's doing some nice things.
Just go back to a couple of years ago, guys, and we saw him play in the preseason. He was running around going crazy. He looks so much more comfortable.
Yep.
His feet are better. He knows where his quick answer throw is. You can see him working through the progression, getting to the 2nd and 3rd in the progression. He looks very comfortable and in control of things from under center.
Speaking of center, Andre James right there. You can see him. He's making the calls, getting everybody on the same page. You've got to be smart to play that position. You're the eyes of the offensive line.
Didn't take a snap last year. Vegas runs it out across the 35. But he's been studying behind Rodney Hudson for the last few years, former undrafted free agent, and now they love his grit, they love his athleticism. He's going to take over in that chemistry that'll have to build guys with Derek Carr.
Well, the longer you're with, not only with Derek Carr, the most important thing is the guys right and left of you. You got to get everybody on the same page, and you have to operate as one unit, and he's the center of the whole thing.
Opening day, that would likely be Richie Incognito to his left, Denzel Good to his right. Back shoulder and reaching out for it. Couldn't haul it in was Aitman.
Put it where it needed to be, though, Rich.
Yep, press man-to-man coverage. This is a back shoulder throw by design. This is well done by Peterman. You just like to see Aitman be able to squeeze this one and pull it down. He had it for a second. Get a lot of opportunities. You got to make them count.
Yeah.
We're going to keep the drive alive. The Raiders 3 of 4 on 3rd down so far. Empty set for Peterman. They'll stack 3 wides to the left. Rush coming the other way, and he'll throw for the 1st down across the 45 to DJ Turner and a gain of 8.
Let's just go with basic football. Step number 1. Know what your defense is, so he checks that. Step number 2, everybody on the offensive line have a body on a body. Check. And then be accurate with the football. He's thrown underneath the coverage. Well done. Caught and complete. I mean, the backer's giving you a little bit of room. You take that room he gives you, and then you just got to beat him to the 1st down, which you did.
3 tight end set here. Matt Bushman, Nick Bowers, Alex Ellis all in there together. Going to run out to the 49 for B.J. Emmons.
That you mentioned the 3 tight end set. John Gruden's always been a good play caller. And one of the things that makes him a great play caller is his personnel usage. He's constantly changing personnel groups, formations, motions, shifts. He puts a lot of pressure on a defense to make adjustments on the fly.
Final seconds of this first quarter. Peterman may just let it wind on down. And it will. We've come to the end of the first quarter of the very first game in Las Vegas with fans.
This is the end of the first quarter.
7-0 lead for the Raiders. You're watching Raiders football, presented by Credit One. Beautiful look at the exterior of Allegiant Stadium. Filled to capacity with the Al Davis Memorial torch lit. 7-0 Raiders, the first of 3 preseason games. Of course, the regular season this year now stretched from 16 to 17 games. First quarter for Peterman, 9 for 12, 95 yards. He hit 5 different guys, running backs, tight ends, wide receivers, slot, spreading it around. Trey Regis, the touchdown run from inches away for the first score for Las Vegas, and Keelan Doss with another grab.
You've got a new offensive line in there. Nick Martin in the center position. You've got Cotton and Amame at the guards. You've got Jones Smith and Brandon Parker tackle position. Tom Cable called Brandon Parker maybe the best swing tackle in football. It's quite a compliment.
Yeah, he's interesting to watch, Parker. He can go both sides. He can go inside if he has to as well.
Here's 3rd and 1. With the fullback in the game. First down, Regis churning it out down to the 36. Parker at swing tackle. John Simpson probably your swing guard, and that may leave 1, maybe 2 other spots to be won up front.
Yeah, and that's exactly where Trey Vegas decided to run. Right behind that left side. They did a nice job of clearing things out. He just came behind him, got in behind Bowers, and picked up the first.
Here's Josh Jacobs, 28, giving him some tips and some pointers. Back-to-back 1,000-yard rushing seasons for Josh. Arrival of Kenyon Drake in the backfield this year should help. Peterman tripped up by Rasheem Green, lost maybe 2.
We need to get on that block a little quicker, but the nice job here by Peterman. You can see it's coming off the top. Peterman felt him right away. He just kind of got on his horse and tried to run away from him.
Peterman on 2nd and 12. It's the tight end again. Shallow across the middle down to the 31. That's Nick Bowers and a gain of 8.
Bowers is a tight end out of Penn State. One thing's always had to be tight ends. A kid who's a lot of competition out there at that tight end spot, but he's doing a nice job here for him.
John Gruden really likes this young group of tight ends. Obviously Darren Waller and Foster Moreau, but you look at Bushman and Bowers, he's 2 of the young players that he pointed out in our meeting on Friday. He wants to see a lot of tonight.
Derek Carrier, another name around there. Very good with the special teams unit. Keeping his feet is Emmons, scrambling down inside the 10-yard line. 1st and goal, Las Vegas, as he scoots for 22.
That's really nicely done. Nice job. It's a nice play call, first of all. Second of all, you can watch a nice job of coming back inside, and he sees the hole, and he hits it right away. Right there. Didn't go down. Kept his balance. Eyes up. Good, strong run.
A really good balance. Getting skinny in the hole. You see a little bit of a spin move there. His job finishing the run.
There's that 3 tight end set again with 8-man down to the bottom of your screen. I'll put Matt Bushman in motion. Regis. They stuffed him, got into the backfield with a good push from Green. 2nd and goal.
Nice job by that Seattle defense in the middle. It's kind of it's almost like the old counter trade. They do it with different personnel. The key to that whole thing is just be strong in the middle, which is what they were right there.
Dylan Stoner is the motion man. Check into something new.
Into the menu.
Let's see what he orders. Pass play to Aikman down to the 4. 3rd and goal. Good block by Regis, too.
Really nice job by the back coming over and cleaning that up, Matt.
Go ahead.
Yeah, you just see at the top of your screen, he's going to take that blitzer off the edge. That was really well done. Took the hit off of Nathan Peterman.
Yeah, see it right there at the bottom, down on the bottom of your screen. That was really well done by Regis. Or Vegas. We're calling him Vegas tonight?
Sure.
At the end of the night, his name will be Las Vegas.
He's already a touchdown scorer. They're going to get a second. They'll use him in play action. Another good block, buying some time for Peterman. Tipped and then knocked down at the goal line. 4th and 4. Jordan Brooks got a piece of it.
Yeah, you still like that from Peterman, though. What you like is that he was able to buy some time to create the play. It got tipped. And then, of course, he threw it inside, but still gave him a chance.
16-play drive stalls inside the 5. Here's a 22-yard attempt for Dominic Everly. With Daniel Carlson still out, should be back soon. And the kick is good. 2 possessions, 2 scores for the Raiders in a 10-0 lead. And applause from Derek Carr. From Allegiant Stadium, we are adjacent to the Las Vegas Strip out across the highway. And inside, another scoring drive, a long one, Rich. 3 points on the board.
Yeah, 2 really impressive drives in the first half, led by Nathan Peterman. 14 plays, 83 yards, over 7 minutes. And that last one, as you mentioned, that's 17 plays. 17 plays. That's how you wear down a defense.
Everly will kick it away. DJ Dallas back in the end zone here for Seattle.
Short kick.
The 25 rumbles out to the 29-yard line. Return of 20. Then hit by Tanner Muse. I'll get the Raider defense back out there. I see Solomon Thomas. I see the rookie Malcolm Kuntz as well up front. Back for more Raiders football in a moment. When we told you, help us build it and we will come, you all answered our call. That was owner Mark Davis at the Allegiant Stadium groundbreaking back in 2017. Here's what's coming inside Allegiant Stadium. Of course, UNLV home football games will be here. Raiders regular season games. The Pac-12 championship in December, as well as the Las Vegas Bowl over the holidays. And then next year, the NFL Pro Bowl. And, of course, Las Vegas set to host the NFL Draft next summer as well. The Allegiant Stadium schedule brought to you by Visit Vegas. Vegas is the greatest arena on earth. Plan now at visitlasvegas.com. 17 yards on that hook up to Freddie Swain and a first down out across the 45 for Seattle. See Tanner Muse out there at one of the linebacker spots. Trayvon Morig, number 25 at safety, the 2nd-round pick. Ball tipped at the line of scrimmage. That was Muse. So here's a guy that never played linebacker, Matt. In college, he was a safety.
Yeah.
And now, after the injury that kept him out last year, he may be the starter outside.
Yeah, he's not a real big guy. He's only like 225, something like that. He's under 230. He comes free on this particular one. He's got a lot to learn. But the biggest thing for him is he can run.
It's fast.
And so that's what they're looking for. They're looking for speed. You could always push to the outside and you can go run him down.
4.4 speed at the combine a couple years ago. 2nd and 10. Seattle tries it on the ground. Nothing doing. Alex Collins ran right into Darius Philon.
Philon was there. Rich, you and I were talking about him in camp. You could just see he's one of those guys. He gets off the ball really quick along with Solomon Thomas inside. Watch the both of them get off, get into your block, and then get off of it as fast as you can. Solomon Thomas is right there. Philon as well. Those two, I like their energy, and I like the way they get off the football.
And Philon has some history in this system. He played for Gus Bradley with the Chargers. Didn't play last year, but certainly played the year before and was an impact player inside for L.A.
3rd and 11. Smith had to try and dump it off underneath, incomplete.
He rushed himself a little bit, didn't have to.
Javen White had the coverage. There was some pressure from Kuntz.
4th and long, they're just rushing 4, and they're keeping that zone back, just giving you underneath stuff. Smith has nowhere to go down the field, so he just dumps it.
Michael Dixon will punt it away. Dylan Stoner back inside the 10 for the Raiders. So the defense, a couple of stops here in the first half. The new defensive coordinator, Gus Bradley.
He's got some room.
Stoner will give it a go. It's across the 20 and swarm there. And a flag, as somebody may have gotten a hold of Stoner's helmet. 44 yards on the punt, 10 on the return. Could be additional yardage. Let's see.
You mentioned how important special teams are. Raiders return units weren't very good a season ago. Their punt return and kickoff return, particularly the kickoff return, they were 30th. They were just about 19 yards a return, and those are two areas where they can get better.
During the return, illegal block in the back. Receiving team number 22. Half the distance to the goal. First down, Las Vegas.
That will go against Keyshawn Nixon and the Raiders. Offense returns to the field here at Allegiant Stadium when we come back after
this. Chelsea Gray.
Well, the Las Vegas Aces struck a lot of gold at the most recent Olympics. Asia Wilson and Chelsea Gray with the women's national team, and the new 3x3 gold medalists Kelsey Plum and Jackie Young, all members of the Aces, reached the WNBA Finals last year. They're in 2nd place as they restart after the Olympic break. They play tomorrow against Washington here at Nick Ultra Arena. 3rd possession of the game for the Raiders, and well-sustained drives through the first 2, Rich. This one will start at their own 7.
And they've showed they have the ability to go the length of the field. And again, guys, I've been really impressed with how Nathan Peterman has really handled situational football, whether it's a backed up situation, whether it's 3rd down, and particularly the young players. Now, keep in mind, they've changed the entire offensive line from what he started with at the beginning of the game.
I like this Vegas kid.
A big hole up the middle for Trey.
This kid's got good vision. He's got good vision and excellent feet in the hole. He makes good decisions at the point. Watch this. Lets things develop, stays there, boom, out the back, okay? Keeps his feet under him, got some good power with him. Like what I'm seeing. And a lot of other teams around the league will be looking at that too.
I got a kick out of Coach Gruden telling us we had to teach him how to get into a 3-point stance.
that was funny.
He's got 8 carries, 37 yards. Depending on Jalen Richard's foot injury, he's been out during training camp. There could be an opportunity for a guy like Regis, or maybe one of the newcomers, Bo Scarborough, B.J. Emmons, who we've seen tonight.
Throw it away. Throw it away.
He's going to roll with it, look downfield, and he'll scamper out of bounds.
That's good, too.
Yeah.
Just don't want to take a sack.
He was aware of it right from the start, but he got help from the outside. Did a nice job there by DJ Turner. He alerted him. He kept his eyes up, and then he, like you said, throw it away or use your feet. And he's got some decent feet.
He's got some good quickness and mobility for a quarterback. He's not afraid to run with it. A little bit like Marcus Mariota. He's got the ability to extend plays.
Yeah.
Jared Jones-Smith, who picked up the blitzer off the edge there to buy Nathan some time and space. 2nd down and 4. Good pocket. Peterman will step up, run with it, slide for a first down out to the 40-yard line. Pat Patrick Omame was leading the way in a gain of 7.
Omame, the Michigan guy. You see him on the inside. Did a nice job. Everybody's picked up properly. Peterman sees the field and then decides to take off and run. Good decision. Yes. This looks like a team that knows what it's doing, actually.
It helps to have a quarterback that's been in the system, that can call plays, that can change plays at the line of scrimmage, get you out of a bad play into a better one, change protections.
Already 11 first downs in this first half to just 3 for Seattle. Nowhere to go for Emmons. Gavin Heslop got in the backfield.
And you mentioned Peterman's welcome to the NFL moment. I did his first game. He played against the Baltimore Ravens. He was with the Buffalo Bills. He wasn't ready to play. He just got thrown out there. It was at Baltimore against that really good defense. I think he got sacked like 10 times. But he had a really rough experience, and he just wasn't ready to play. And that's unfortunate to put a young quarterback out there. You can really ruin his confidence.
Looks much better here today. He'll drop it off underneath. Close to first down yardage. Probably going to be 3rd and 1 to Nick Bowers. The other thing, too, I thought that was interesting from Tom Cable is with the improvements they think they've made on the defensive front, that has helped prepare their offensive line so much better to face pressure. Yeah,
that makes a big difference. When you're going against guys who can't rush the passer and you're practicing against them every day, and then you come up against a real live one, yeah, that's a tough adjustment.
As Tom said, first time they've really seen a quality group of pass rushers to go up against in practice. And as you said, that makes a huge difference.
Brings the guys together even quicker than that offensive line. Another nice hole. First down run into Seattle territory. Trey Vegas runs for 6 more.
I am liking this kid. He has excellent vision. That's about the 4th time we've seen this, and he's decisive. He's decisive and knows when to take the room and when not to. Lets it develop a little bit in front of him and then bursts. Well done.
Not a lot of wasted movement. He's one cut and he's heading downhill.
4-time All Sun Belt Conference out of Louisiana.
Raging Cajuns.
Yes.
Randy McClanahan, old Raider.
Peterman hit as he released, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Ryan Neal, and the turnover gives it to the Seahawks.
Had the back wide open.
Yeah, and he saw him. He looked at him, Rich, and then he decided to go downfield.
You never go broke taking a profit, Matt.
Yep.
You see the back, he's going to be wide open to the right, just doesn't take it, tries to force this one in down the field in between the linebacker and the corner, and the ball gets tipped as it leaves his hand.
First turnover of the ball game. 10-0 Raiders. Each week throughout the regular season, the Las Vegas Raiders, in partnership with Intermountain Healthcare, will proudly recognize local youth football players who have made an impact on their community. Stay tuned for September 13th, where we will recognize our first Intermountain Healthcare Player of the Week. 10-0 Raiders. The total yardage, 212 for Las Vegas, 41 for Seattle. The defense has shut them down twice. It's back to Alex Magoo at quarterback. 3:49 to go here in the second quarter. Alex Collins. Carl Nassib, one of the first guys there.
So Nassib makes the tackle, but the front side made the play. There was nowhere to go, so the guy tried to cut back. Nassib did a nice job of staying square down the line and makes the tackle.
I think that one thing that's very noticeable to me already, I think the team speed on defense, man, is going to be much better. And I also think the depth along that defensive line and in the secondary is going to be a significant improvement over what the Raiders had a season ago.
On 2nd and 8, Magoo play action under duress, throws it downfield out of bounds. Yeah, Gus Bradley talked about rushing in waves. They've got the depth to run in a couple of different defensive lines, and Coach Gruden always talks about we need a 4th quarter pass rush. 4th quarters were a huge problem finishing games for this defense.
See, Cleve Farrell was able to get some pressure and force that throw, sets up this 3rd down. They don't care who it is. Yeah. They just need him to keep on coming.
3rd and 8. pressure. Magoo tries to spin out of it, and down he goes. The push from the inside, and then caught by Farrell on the backside.
Yeah, and that was they were able to do that because the coverage there, nice job of the coverage. Everybody's staying in place. They're forcing things underneath. He had to push it to at least 8 yards, and then the rush was able to get there.
It's good to see Clem Farrell make a play, 4th overall pick in that 2019 draft. It's been a disappointing start to his Raider career match. Just 6.5 sacks in 2 seasons. They need more production from him in year 3.
There's no question. And his production is based on those 2 inside guys. You saw Philon right there, made the play, as did
Solomon Thomas has been in on a few plays here.
Really nicely done.
DJ Turner out to the 15, a 12-yard return after a 61-yard punt.
Good opportunity for Nathan Peterman to make up for that previous mistake and also take advantage of the situational 2-minute drill here with 3 timeouts. These are the kind of reps that you really need as a young quarterback.
Omami coming back in.
83-yard touchdown drive, the first possession of the game for the Raiders. They added a field goal and the Peterman interception on their last possession. And he's out on the right side there. Peterman. Catch is made by Turner to the 21. That should take us to the 2-minute warning. We'll take the break. 2 minutes to go here in the first half, and a 10-0 lead for John Gruden and the Raiders. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. 10-0 Raiders with the lead over the Seahawks. Beth Bowens, Rich Gannon, Matt Millen with you here at Allegiant Stadium. And a full house for Raider Nation for the first time. First time owner Mark Davis is in the house. He wanted to wait until all the fans could come in before he would come in to watch the Raiders play. So a big night for him as well.
I don't know that another owner in football would have done that. It speaks volumes about Mark Davis and how much he cares about Raider Nation.
All right, let's see what Peterman can do here with the 2-minute drill. DJ Turner, first down.
Yeah, that's nicely done by Peterman. He saw it. He changed it at the line of scrimmage, gave himself some protection, and got the ball out quick.
You know, he is much stronger than he was a couple of years ago as well. I mean, you look at his physique. We spent some time with him at the facility earlier in the week. He looks stronger. He's throwing the ball a whole lot better. He's really spinning it well. Got some man-to-man coverage, an opportunity to take a shot here.
Stoner and Turner to the top of your screen. They'll throw to the near side, and it's caught by Doss. Stepped out of bounds across the 30.
Well, they're keeping the clock going. They have that back, the one remaining back right there is a kid out of Wisconsin. Darren Groshek is a good football player.
This is where he can really hurt you.
Oh, yeah.
And he'll get out of bounds across the 40. Move the chains again. 8-9.
All those linebackers and corners and man-to-man coverage with their backs turned to the line of scrimmage, and Peterman saw it and took off.
I like the quick decision by him, too. He saw what he had, and then he just ran to space.
You know, Matt, a quarterback with some mobility that'll run, that will drive defensive players and defensive coordinators absolutely crazy.
Absolutely.
Tight end Ellis motions to the near side, and again Peterman will switch it up.
Really nice job changing the protections.
Pressure coming, they pick it up, and it's caught by Ellis at the 45 for a short gain. It keeps the clock moving.
Tell you what, the Raiders are one of the few teams who like fullbacks,
Las
right?
Vegas.
Alec Ingold's a starter, and they got the kid Groshek, number 46. You could see him now. He was hunting. He was inside out, and he went out and helped the tackle to the outside on the right side. And nice, clean pocket, was able to get this ball out really well. Nice job by the Seattle defense of taking anything away deep. They just gave him the underneath throw.
At 22, 144 yards and a score. He's rushed for 22 more yards. Peterman, deeper throw this time. It's caught out to the 40-yard line. Dylan Stoner, gain of 15, and they're into Seattle territory.
Rich, that's another nice job by the rookie Groshek. He's hunting sideline to sideline, picked up that free blitzer on the bottom.
Peterman finds Groshek this time, who snuck out down inside the 35, 6 more yards. Under a minute to go. Another timeout.
Impressive little drive here from this offensive line and protection. It's rare for a rookie to know exactly where he has to go. Groshek's doing a really nice job. I've been keeping my eye on him through this whole series, but this offensive line has been able to get a body on a body and given Peterman time to throw.
Well, back in 2020, last summer, Mark Davis said, I won't go if the fans can't go. It's all or none for me. Either all the fans are going to be in there or none. And they celebrated together earlier today, the ribbon cutting. Mr. Davis and Raider Nation signifying the official moment that Raider Nation could enter their new home. And that was pregame today. Carlos Santana had a big old pair of scissors in his hands. He'll be performing here at halftime live.
I saw Popsato there also.
Down inside the 30, another short gain to Turner as the clock rolls.
Short gain, but a first down.
And Spike, 36 seconds to play.
You guys remember we're out of practice on Thursday. They ran a number of 2-minute drills, and this is an area where the Raiders were really good a season ago. They scored in the final 2 minutes of the first half 9 times last year. It's a big point of emphasis. They work on a lot of these 2-minute drills. Not only at the end of the game, but at the end of the half.
I think this has been an excellent first half here, regardless of what happens here for this for Peterman and this offense. I think they've done exactly what they wanted to do.
Peterman on second down. Pass is caught down at the 11-yard line. Keelan Doss, first down Raiders.
Rich Doss stumbled coming out of his break and then was able to recover and still make this throw. Watch him at the top right there. See that? Yeah, nice throw right where it had to be. Nice job of protection. So one of two things, Rich. Either this offensive line is playing really well or this not very good Seattle defensive front.
Well, I really look at what the Raiders are doing. I think they're dictating the pace and the tempo of the game has been very, very impressive.
Back inside the red zone. Peterman. Turner makes a man miss inside the 10 and down to the 6-yard line. Got away from Trey Brown. They'll hustle to the line. And the spike. 14 seconds to play and a drive that started back on the Raiders' 16-yard line.
This is Peterman dumping it off underneath. Really well done by Turner. Just strong guy. Got a nice, good balance on him.
Peterman's got to be smart here. It's third down, but he only has 14 seconds left. Take a shot at the end zone.
Yep.
Just can't have a negative play.
So if I'm on the defense right now, I want to match things up. I want to match them up, and you're going to want to know that. So I'll look for a couple of picks down here on the inside. They're coming out with a bunch, and that's usually an indicator that you're going to get that.
They do have one timeout left. They can get a first down. Peterman, incomplete. And it's fourth down, looking for Regas. And on comes the kicking unit.
Still a really good drive. I mean, they took it the length of the field. And just over 2 minutes, they're going to come away with the field goal and go up 13-0. Just a really impressive first half. John Gruden talked a lot about how hard this young team has worked in training camp. You have to be pleased, Matt, with the effort and tempo in the first half.
Oh, he's got to be. And the best part is they played really well, and they'll be disappointed because they won to 6 instead of 3 here.
Good from 22. This one from 24. And Dominic Eberle is 2 for 2. 13-0 Raiders over the Seahawks. 5 seconds to go in this first half.
The only thing that would have made that a perfect one, Rich, is if they had put 6 on the board. Other than that, that was an excellent drive. They sustained it well. Nice protection. Good job by lots of different players, most notably Peterman in the pocket and able to see in the field. Really well done.
Another 14-play drive. Jeez, oh man. 14 plays, 78 yards. That's a 14-play drive to start the game, a 17-play drive, another 14-play drive. They are wearing out this Seattle football
How about
team.
the time of possession, guys? 23 minutes for Las Vegas, 6 for Seattle. Yep.
A dominant first half. Just surprised it's only 13-0.
That's the one thing you want different.
Had to settle for a couple field goals. Good look at Greg Olsen. It does a great job with the quarterbacks. Been with John Gruden a long time.
Oh, holy cat! I've known him for a long time.
He's a good play caller. Oh yeah, a lot of success in this league as a play caller.
I'll tell you what I love about Greg Olsen. He is one tough sucker, man. He is. You're going to learn something, you're going to learn it. And he won't quit until it gets learned.
On the return, clock will run down. 34 yards, the comebacker for Seattle. A touchdown, Trey Regis, a couple of Dominic Eberle field goals, and a 13-0 lead for Las Vegas as they controlled the pace, they controlled the plays, they controlled the clock. And we have Coach Gruden with us.
Coach, it's Rich Gannon. Hey, you talked to us on Friday about how hard this young team has worked in training camp. You have to be pleased with the effort and tempo in the first half, really on both sides of the ball.
Yeah, we are. We're playing a lot of newcomers, a lot of guys playing in the NFL for their first time. We called a lot of different plays. We had terrible field position. We did something with the ball, and our defense has been solid. Yeah, 14-play drive, 17-play drive, 14-play drive. Coach, I'm coming down. I'm going to call plays in the third quarter. Hey, it's just like the old days, isn't it? Get it?
Thanks, Coach.
I'll tell you what, give Nate Peterman some credit.
He was terrific.
Did a hell of a job. Yep,
he was terrific. Thanks, Coach.
Peterman, 22 of 30, 193 yards. Got a big first half for the Raiders. Allegiant Stadium, gorgeous night for Raiders football for the first time in Las Vegas with a full house. 65,000 on hand. They saw plenty of activity from the Raiders. Look at that number of plays and time of possession. Beth Mowens, Rich Gannon, and Matt Millen. Strong effort through the first half, guys.
Both sides, offensively and defensively. And so Nathan Peterman, I thought, had an excellent first half. You know, had one mistake, but really he was in control. And the offensive line, Rich, is the thing that really kind of impressed me because he really didn't get much pressure. That was really well done.
It was well done, really, on both sides of the ball. I think we talk a lot about tempo, the pace of play, and even conditioning. I mean, we were out of practice, and it was hot. And this team has worked hard. They've gotten after it. They've had some competitive periods. They've really worked on their conditioning late in practice, having 2-minute drills and competitive periods, and it's really paid off. I think you look at Gus Bradley, he's got to be pleased with what he's seen from his young defense. And on the offensive side of the ball, you mentioned Nathan Peterman, really a terrific start for him, taking advantage of the opportunity.
A couple of young guys I'm impressed with, too. Regis has had a nice first half. You saw Groshek, that's smart with his protections. There's some good kids playing out here. I like the speed at which they're playing. That's nice.
Regis, 9 carries, 43 yards. Keelan Doss, DJ Turner, both with 5 catches in that first half as Peterman spread it around. Seattle's had a couple of nice returns on kickoffs tonight. Out across the 35 for Trey Brown. Magoo will stay in there at quarterback for Seattle.
Different group of defenders up front and at the backer spots here. They make pretty much a wholesale change on the defensive side for the Raiders.
It was a defense that gave up 30 points per game last year, 30th in the league. Only 21 sacks and only 15 takeaways. So some draft picks to try and shore things up, and particularly Trayvon Merrick and possibly Nate Hobbs could start in the nickel once the season gets underway. And then the moves and free agency guys that brought in a lot of new faces on that front line.
Yeah, as expected. I mean, the Raiders invested time, money, draft capital on defense during the offseason, beginning really with the hiring of Gus Bradley, a long-time respected coordinator who is being counted on to restore some of the semblance of order on defense.
He brought with him a couple of assistant coaches, and perhaps the most important pickup, he also brought Casey Hayward, the free agent from the Chargers, familiar with Gus, two-time All-Pro.
Yeah, and I think what he brought there is a smart player, and I think an experienced player. And so he's a guy who can get fused in with the young players and really kind of take control, which I think he has in his training camp.
A lot of second and third year guys around him in what would potentially be the starting unit in the back. Magoo gets out across midfield, and he's got a first down.
When I first came to the Raiders in 1999, we had a young Charles Woodson. We had a veteran cornerback in Eric Allen. And Eric Allen was a great mentor to a young Charles Woodson. And you look at Casey Hayward and the impact he could have on some of the young corners, and in particular a guy like Damon Arnett, who had some struggles last year. He dealt with the wrist surgery, some concussions, and just needs to stay on the field and get good on that first-round draft status in 2020.
Yeah. Magoo on the rollout will drop it off underneath. Short gain.
Mr. Magoo better be careful when he's throwing back across his body inside.
Just asking for trouble.
If I remember, the original Mr. Magoo didn't see very well. So.
Oh, Mr. Magoo, you've done it again.
I probably never heard that.
You can tell Beth, Matt, and I spent way too much time watching cartoons as kids.
You guys were the first of the TV generation, were you? 2nd and 8. Just underway, third quarter, first of 3 preseason games. Raiders next week will be in LA to face the Rams. And then the last weekend in August up at San Francisco.
It's important as you change bodies here in the second half and some younger players get the opportunity to come in, that you don't fall off, that you continue to play like they did in the first half with that sense of urgency, the tempo, the effort, the finish. That's why this is a really important drive.
I completely agree with you. One of the things that Gus Bradley's defenses have had troubles with at times is they're not very big at the second level, and they get run on. And so that's the one thing I thought was impressive in the first half. They didn't happen to them.
Trying to get some pressure on Magoo. He'll heave it downfield. Tipped up into the air, incomplete. I believe Ray Wilson had the coverage and got a hand up on it.
Well done.
Did a nice job and played the high point of that ball, which was well done. The ball kind of hung up in the air, which allowed him, didn't have to really recover because he was right there. He was playing on his hip.
Please reset the clock.
He was in good position, made a nice play on the ball.
A little bit of hang time there. Sets up a fourth down.
Hang on.
Looks like they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here. 4th and 4. DJ Dallas is in the backfield with Magoo.
1-1-3-5.
And here comes the Raider Nation with the noise.
This is going to be a huge home field advantage for the Raiders moving forward. This crowd noise, this place can really get loud for the visitors.
They missed them last year, just 2-6 at home. Another place they look to improve. Opening up on Monday night, Dallas got some room out of the backfield, breaks a tackle, and he's going to go.
Blown coverage. Saw it right away. Whoever was supposed to pick him up never went with him.
And then to complicate matters, they blow a tackle. They miss a tackle on the back end.
Yep.
That was the safety.
Well, I can't see who it was. I mean, the safety, you're talking right there, the missed tackle there.
Dallin Levitt.
Yeah, Levitt, but
tackling. That was a problem the season ago.
43 yards for Dallas on the catch and run. And just like that, the Seahawks make it a one-score game after a dominant first half from the Raiders. Extra point for Myers. And it's good. 13-7. Raiders over the Seahawks early in the third. Mic'd Up featuring Yannick Ngakoue is brought to you by Coca-Cola, the official soft drink of the Las Vegas Raiders.
Mic'd up today. I'm mic'd up, Coach. I'm mic'd up. Watch what you say, Coach. I know you got a dirty mouth, man. Relax. Relax. Be great. Be great, DC. I own this drill. Come on now. This is my drill. I get off the ball. Let's be great, fellas.
Mic'd up the other day at practice. Kickoff here to Dylan Stoner. Out across the 15, the 20, tripped up at the 22-yard line. So mic'd up the other day, and now mic'd up again tonight, Matt Millen. We've got Yannick with us.
Yeah, Yannick. First of all, you have to like what happened in the first half with your group. You got, it looks like they came out to play.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so the one thing I was watching you in training camp with is your first two steps. And that's a big part of your game. And so how are you integrating that into this scheme?
You know, I've been in this scheme for 4 years in Jacksonville when I had the pleasure to play with Coach Wash, Todd Wash, and guys like that in this scheme. So, you know, this defense is all about speed, effort, and toughness, and that's what I try to bring each and every day.
That's what it looks like. So the other thing you're going to have is some good linebacker play from behind you. So you have to like what you're seeing so far in training camp.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, we have the drill called the pursuit drill, and I can just tell how bad guys want it. You know, it's a drill when we rush up the field for 5 yards, everybody on the defense, and we sprint all the way to the end zone full speed, and I can just tell guys they're really buying into the system.
Yannick, an opportunity to get back with the coach that drafted you in Jacksonville. Just talk about that relationship, how important that was to you, Gus Bradley.
You know, that was, I think that was God's work. At the end of the day, I wasn't happy where I was. You know, previously that wasn't a secret in Jacksonville, but I'm forever thankful. But it led me to this situation with Coach Gus, and to be able to be in a familiar system.
Yannick, you mentioned the other day you felt like you've been a Raider all along. It was just a matter of time and arriving here. What have you loved about this experience and obviously a night like tonight?
You know, I just try to make sure that my game is always on point, and I want to just make my energy contagious to everybody in this locker room. But on the defensive side of the ball, you know, the Raiders, they have a long history of being, really tough, mean, nasty guys, and we need to bring that back if we want to get far into the playoffs.
All right, your teammates pick up a first down here. That allows us to keep talking with you. What kinds of things do you like to pass along to younger guys like Cleve Ferrell and Max Crosby and even the rookie this year, Coots and Stills?
I mean, it's just all about the work you put in when nobody's watching. That'd be my biggest advice, doing extra things in and outside of the building that can make your game rise a whole nother level. That's what makes you great.
Yeah, look at this facility, this stadium, and also the facility in Henderson. I mean, there is no excuse for you guys this year. You got to find a way to get it done. Mr. Davis has spent the money to make sure that you guys have the best of everything.
Yeah, man, shout out to Mr. Davis. He definitely he made sure that it's a lot of things that we can just grab onto from the food perspective, from the recovery perspective. He's done everything as top of the line, and guys need to really take heed to what he's done for us and utilize everything.
I think one last thing. Gerald McCoy is the guy who just signed this week.
Yes.
And I'm a big Gerald McCoy fan. So if he can get back healthy, you guys can do some damage this year.
Yeah, man. Gerald is a great guy, and just the experience he brings. This is year 12 for him. A lot of guys I can tell in the defensive line room are being super hands-on with him just to grab certain knowledge. So it's a blessing to have him on our team.
Yeah, we wish you the best and have a great year this year.
Thank you so much for everything, brother.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yannick Ngakoue, one of the new free agents, helping to bolster that defensive front for the Raiders.
Raider fans are going to love this kid. His get-off is second to none. He's a physical guy when he has to. He's not a real big guy. But some guys, you know, there was a guy who played years ago, Fred Dean, was not very big. And Freddie's in the Hall of Fame, and Fred was just as strong as he had to be, quick as he had to be, and used properly. And that's the key. So this guy fits the scheme perfectly.
Well, they're desperate need for someone who can come screaming off the edge. 45.5 sacks his first 5 seasons, 18 forced fumbles. He can be a real difference maker this year for the Raiders.
Peterman on third down. Regis makes a man miss, and he'll get the first down yardage across midfield.
So there's something Peterman did right there that is so important that very few people will see. He took the receiver back inside. Rich saw it right away. But he took Regis back inside because watch this. Watch where he throws his football.
Right shoulder.
Instead of taking him outside, he throws it back inside because he sees the defender coming up on the backside. That's really well done.
So as a back, you have to trust the quarterback. He's throwing the ball inside. He wants you to turn inside, turn away from the hit, and turn away from the defender. Well done.
9 of 12 now on third down for Peterman and this offense.
I don't know about you, Matt, but I love playing in the preseason. Now, you probably didn't play a lot early in my career because I wasn't starting. I played a lot in the preseason. I thought these were valuable reps, and I enjoyed going out there with young players and helping them out and seeing them hyperventilate in the huddle and get nervous and be excited, you know, because this is their opportunity to make the football team. Every rep is a critical rep for a young player, especially now that we only have 3 preseason games. Matt never hyperventilated. I know that.
No,
no, that never happened.
Oh, Peterman holds onto it as he goes down. Cody Barton got to him.
He was looking down
for
the field.
Seattle.
Yeah, he was looking for something big down the field.
Tight end gets beat.
Yeah.
Nick Bowers.
Yeah, Bowers got to stay on top of that. That's all in his feet and hips. So he blocked where he thought he was instead of where he was going.
So a loss of 9 makes it 3rd and 20.
It'd be smart here if you're Peterman. We talk about these situations. If it's there, pull the trigger. If not, find me a completion.
Tried to set up the receiver screen, incomplete, looking for Turner. And it's 4th down.
Not the kind of start Coach Gruden was hoping for in the second half. Give up a score on defense, you come out, you stall on offense.
This will be the first punt of the day for Las Vegas. Corliss Waitman. Boy, and the mood changes quickly for Coach Gruden after the 13-0 lead, and now the momentum swing over to the Seahawks. John Ursua hit as the ball comes down and flags fly from everywhere.
It's going to be on Robertson. He got there early. Got to allow the returner a chance to field the football.
Just a little early. 34 yards on the punt. Of course, Robertson's another guy that, you know, just a second-year man, was fighting for a spot on special teams, possibly as that nickelback, but the emergence of Nate Hobbs and Nevin Lawson sticking around. Robertson has work to do this preseason.
And Beth, you know that if you're not a starter on offense or defense, you better make this team in the kicking game. And covering kicks and punts and being a gunner, whatever you have to do to get the attention of this coaching staff to let them know that you have value. And there's some young draft picks, guys like Nate Hobbs and Lesby and Kuntz. Those guys are going to have to be contributors in the kicking game.
There are fouls by both teams. Interference with the opportunity to catch the kick. Kicking team number 21. During the kick, illegal block in the back. Receiving team number 11. Those fouls will offset if the receiving team spot the foul. First down, timeout.
So they got a penalty on the Seahawks as well. We'll sort it all out when we come back. Well, Mark Davis never wavered from his commitment to play on natural grass here at Allegiant Stadium. The Bermuda grass specifically chosen and cultivated for the Las Vegas climate. The tray slides in and out, takes about an hour to fully move into position. 4 feet deep, over 9,500 pounds. And the Raiders playing on grass indoors.
Well, it makes such a difference over the course of now a 17-game season on your legs, your joints, your ability to recover.
There's all kinds of cool things. If you're coming to the game from the Strip, you can walk across the Hacienda Bridge. And then once you're inside, it's a translucent paneled roof, and you see down the Al Davis Memorial Torch. Behind that are the lanai doors, which slide open and shut depending on the weather. A beautiful view of the Strip out the north end zone. And one of the cool features as well, the Winfield Club. Bottle service here at the stadium. you got the Vegas feel down in the north end zone.
Beth, this is a gorgeous stadium.
Yes, it is.
You know what's going to make it even better? How well this team plays. That's all it's going to matter.
Yep.
Well, it's already a tough ticket. It's going to get even more difficult. And this team gets back to the postseason, and I can see that happening this year. This is, as you mentioned, this is a much better football team than we saw at this point in the season ago. Much more depth, more team speed.
3rd and 6. Magoo going to pick up the first down. Does not get down. Of course, it will be absolutely bonkers in here. Monday night, September 13th, they open up Monday Night Football against Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens.
That will be a test for this defense to be able to contain that guy, former NFL MVP. To do a good job setting the edge, force him to function as a pocket passer. Don't let him run over the ballpark here and throw the ball around and make plays with his legs.
They won their home opener last year Monday night against Drew Brees and New Orleans. Of course, with the additional 17th game on the schedule, they will have 9 regular season home games this year. They added Chicago on the return of the Mac. And then 3 primetime games, 2 Monday, 1 Sunday. And how much fun will Thanksgiving afternoon be with the Raiders in Dallas to take on the Cowboys? All highlights.
It's a great schedule. For the first time since 1978, the league is expanding its regular season from 16 to 17 games. Of course, the extra game will also affect the record books. 1,000 yards.
Right.
No longer the gold standard, Matt, for rushing and receiving. You're talking about just about 58 yards a game on the ground. Rushing, that's not a big deal. I think you could get 58 yards a game on the ground.
Well, that would be pushing it. But I'll tell you right now, this Raider defense it looks like it did a year ago, which you didn't like to see.
Get pushed back.
Yeah, you're just losing at the line of scrimmage.
Did you get the sense, Matt, that Rich was already setting the stage for the possibility that Derek Carr could threaten his regular season passing records? Single season.
I think he has most of them already. I think he does.
No, I think this is a different age of football, so I think those passing records have to stay here. I don't think you can compare. That's a different era than what they're throwing in now. Now, I mean, that's 5,000 yards is standard.
Very doable.
Yeah.
Of course, Derek is already the career leader in passing yardage, passing touchdowns, completion percentage. He's been so reliable. Has started and played in 110 of the possible 112 games of his career. Fourth year now under Coach Gruden. You could see the confidence in the practices that we attended.
Beth, I don't think he gets enough credit for his toughness. I mean, he doesn't miss starts. He's missed just 2 regular season starts in his first 7 seasons. As you mentioned, he holds the franchise record for passing yards and touchdowns, 21 fourth-quarter comebacks. He's extremely accurate. In the last 3 years under Gruden, 69%, 70%, 67%.
And so, look, and I think he's doing an excellent job. But those numbers should be like that. That's the way this game is now. And he throws, they throw a lot of underneath stuff, so your accuracy better be good. You'd like to see the ball pushed down the field a little bit more. Back in the old day, you look at Snake's numbers were up there. Plunkett, his numbers weren't there, but they did. This is a different game. You just own the deep ball.
3rd and 2, a big opportunity here for the defense to get a stop. Seahawks will roll out Magoo, and he's got to throw it away. Good pressure coming from Gary Green, and it's 4th down.
Nice coverage in the flat there. That was the whole key. Took that thing away and forced him to throw it away.
The one thing I did like doing a game with the Raiders and Derek Carr late last season, he said, it's not all those numbers is not good enough because we still have to get to the playoffs and we have to win playoff games and bring the aura back that you guys played under with the silver and black.
It all boils down to, can you get your team to the finish line each and every week? And it's really wins and losses. And Derek knows what he's got to do. He's been pretty productive, and now it's taking the next step in winning division titles and getting into the postseason.
Jason Myers will try for 50, and he missed it to the left. No good.
Ball will start on the 40-yard line.
Raiders finally with some good field position. 2:20 to go in the 3rd, and a big stop for the D.
Seif is going back to pass, wants to take a shot into the end zone. He looks, he throws, and it's a great play that may have been intercepted, and the Cleveland Browns called on chutzpah once too often. Holy Toledo! It was Mike Davis who made the big interception.
Red right 88, that 1981 divisional game against Cleveland. The Browns were trailing 14-12 on the Raiders' 13-yard line, in position to kick the game-winning field goal. And, of course, Mike Davis had other plans. They would go on to win, did the Raiders, and they would also go on to win the Super Bowl against the Philadelphia Eagles.
That was one freezing cold game. How Mike Davis caught that ball, I have no idea. Mad Dog, of course, he just passed this past offseason.
Yes.
That was a great player and a phenomenal play.
Terrific Raider as they beat the Browns that day. 1st and 10. Nathan Peterman back out there under center. Trey Regis, 9 carries, 43 yards. He'll get the call again here. According to Lore, I believe the line from Gene Upshaw was, he could not catch a cold barefooted in Alaska. I can't believe Mike caught the ball, because I'm telling you, he had the absolute worst hands in that secondary. But he made the play when he had to.
I was not going to say that. But, yeah.
And our thoughts, of course, to all the families and the Raider Nation as a whole in memoriam. Some great Raiders that we've lost over the last couple of seasons.
Both players and coaches, really just a great group of men.
Once a Raider, always a Raider.
It's a special organization. You just look at that uniform, you look at that shield, and iconic. What that represents, the greatness of the Raiders. And Al Davis, all the great coaches, John Madden, Tom Flores, all the great players. A history of excellence.
Tom into the Hall of Fame, joining Mike Ditka as the only guys to win a Super Bowl, player assistant coach, head coach. By the way, John Gruden, he really enjoyed, his father was at practice the other day.
Offense number 77.
And he said, my two favorite G's of all time were together, his dad and Gannon.
Jim Gruden, great football coach and a talent evaluator. And he's been blessed. John has had great success. His other son, Jay, former NFL head coach and offensive coordinator.
Grandson Deuce is on the staff with his dad, John. Here's a 3rd and 8 for Peterman.
Deuce does a great job in the strength and conditioning department.
Timeout, Raiders. We will take it with them. Final minute of the 3rd quarter. 7 Raiders over the Seahawks. Final minute of this 3rd quarter. An inside look at the Credit One Club, one of the many beautiful club spaces here at Allegiant Stadium. As Raider Nation finally gets a look inside. It's been a great night. Just roaming around the concourses, checking everything out. Finally getting to watch their Raiders in Las Vegas live and in person. Third and 8. Peterman under duress and down he goes. Sacked by Cody Barton, his 2nd of the game. And 4th for Seattle.
Pressure on the top side. You're going to see it right down here. So it forces him up. That's when Barton's able to take care of him. Nice coverage down the field. You can see there are black jerseys, but there are white jerseys right on top of them.
Much different situation in this 3rd quarter for the Raider offense after they moved the ball so well in that first half. John Ursua is the deep man. Corliss Waitman, high kick. Ursua will let it bounce, and it's a good one for the Raiders down inside the 10. To the 4th quarter we go in a 1-possession game. Raiders and Seahawks. It's the preseason opener in Las Vegas. Raider defense has held Seattle to just 5 first downs, 107 total net yards. Really just the one good scoring drive for the Seahawks. That's been it. Under 20 yards rushing. And a dominant time of possession, and yet the Seahawks have the ball and a chance to tie it up.
They've done a nice job, Beth, keeping the lid on the explosive plays as well. That's the one thing that hurt this Raider defense a season ago, letting the ball get over the top of you. Some of those explosive runs.
Looking for more pressure from up front, looking for more takeaways for this Raider defense. They had 5 fumble recoveries and 10 interceptions last year. Casey Hayward has talked a lot about changing that this season.
That's what you have to do. Just as you mentioned, just 15 takeaways, 3rd fewest. Not a single takeaway in their final 4 games of the season, and that's why they didn't make the playoffs. And good defenses have the ability to take the ball away, create negative plays, sacks, strip fumbles, interceptions.
And that all starts right in the middle of that defense, Rich. So when you're strong down the middle of the defense,
you got a chance.
You got a real chance. The guy, this guy right here, Gerald McCoy. Joe McCoy, they got this week. He came in. He is
number 49.
He's coming off of an injury. He's not quite there yet. I was watching this week. But that guy is a really smart football player, and here's the key to him. He has an ability to get guys to play together. Those guys are rare. He's got leadership skills. If his leg comes all the way back, that guy will make a huge difference on this defense.
3rd overall pick in 2010 for the Buccaneers. 59.5 career sacks, 86 tackles for losses, a 6-time Pro Bowler. He can be a difference maker.
Oh, yeah.
There was a quad injury last year in training camp for the Cowboys for Gerald, so hopefully he will be back soon. It's a A Raider team that was 5-4 in one-score games last year. They lost the 3 games late that really impacted their playoff chances, the Kansas City, LA, and Miami. And in the fourth quarter, good news, bad news, they scored the most, but they were also the most porous late in games.
176 fourth quarter points, the most in football, and they wore down late games. That was a problem. Lack of depth.
That's when Ngakwe is here and Gerald McCoy is here. Make the tackle, then you're off the field.
There you go.
That's all you need to do. Keep everything in front of you, Beth. Make the play, get off the field.
You mentioned guys like Ngakwe and Gerald McCoy. These are veteran players that know how to play inside, know how to play outside. They can be disruptive. They can play the run. They can play the pass. And as you mentioned, Matt, these are good teammates. These are guys that are going to help the young players. They have great work ethic. Football's important to them. These are true professionals.
I was watching him this week in practice, Gerald McCoy, and he was going to all the defensive linemen, talking to about little things. No hands inside. No, when you get to this point, use your leverage. Throw from your hips. All the little things that veterans would know.
Second 3 and out here for the Raider defense. A flag down on the punt. Goes out of bounds in Seahawks territory.
I mentioned 2 3 and outs for the defense. Third down defense was a big problem last year. They were 30th in third down defense. Had a very difficult time getting off the field. I mean, you don't have the pass rush in this league, you're going to struggle.
Illegal formation. Kicking team, number 49. 5-yard penalty will be added into the play. First down. Timeout.
So everybody thinks about, you have to have great pass rushers on the outside. When you have an inside rusher who can push it to the outside, that's what you're really cooking.
Back for more Raiders football in a moment. Raiders Foundation extends an invitation to fans across the globe to be part of sports history through the purchase of a personalized legacy brick at Allegiant Stadium. For more information and to personalize your Raiders Foundation legacy brick, please visit www.raidersfoundationbricks.com. In addition, every alumni who played for the Silver and Black received an honorary brick. Rich Gannon, number 12, Matt Millen, number 55.
Mine's nicer than yours.
Right outside. Are they right out by the front door? Or where
Matt's is in front of the bathroom.
I was just going to say that. Right in front of the toilet.
A good starting field position here for Peterman in the offense.
He'll pick up 6 there. Should be able to get some points here. 1 touchdown drive, a couple of field goals, 1 Peterman interception.
Going with a 3 tight look.
Yep. Keelan Doss solo to the bottom of the screen. They'll run it. Another burst down inside the 30. Trey Vegas.
Las Vegas is having a nice night. I like this kid. He has got good runner's patience. He's good vision, and he knows when to burst.
Low center of gravity, gets lost behind that big offensive line. This is demoralizing to a football team, to a defense, to let an offense run right down the middle of your defense. And that's what the Raiders are doing. Vegas has looked really good at running the ball between the tackles.
And a good push up front. 1st and 10. To the tight end, Matt Bushman picks up 6 or 7.
So what you have right there is a nice job by Vegas, and this is the most important part for a young back. You've got to be able to pick up the guys who are coming free. You're going to watch him right here. See him? Watch him. He's going to come over to the right side. Boom, right there. Just what he has to do. Understands coverage, protections, go inside out. He's able to pick that stuff up and give him time.
That new guy they're following right up the middle, by the way, is the new center, Jimmy Morrissey, the 7th-rounder rookie out of Pittsburgh. From a walk-on to a team captain to an all-ACC performer, now getting a shot up front with the Raiders.
He's an interesting guy. That 7th round draft pick is out of Pitt. You mentioned a 4-year starter. After walking on, went to LaSalle High School in Philadelphia. He won the Burlsworth Trophy as a senior, given to the most outstanding player in the country who began his career as a walk-on, a 2-time captain, and all.
ACC player of the 3 seasons. He's a tough, scrappy player. And he's got a chance. I think he's a versatile enough player that can play either of the guard positions. What do you think, Matt?
Yeah, I think he looks like he's 10 years old.
Well, he's going to get bigger. He's going to get stronger. This is a guy that I think certainly can play in this league.
Let's see if they can pick up a yard up front. They do.
Well, I'll tell you what, Morrissey right there just did an outstanding job. Now, he stayed with his block. He got stymied right at the point of attack, but he didn't stop his feet, and he kept on going. You're going to watch him right in the middle. Watch this. Boom. So he's stuffed, right? Now keep your feet going. Stay. Lower your pads. That's well done. Really well done there. Morrissey from Pittsburgh. There's 4 Pitt guys on this team.
Pennsylvania strong.
Tough kids. He loves football and loves competing. And, you know, Coach Gruden's talked about it. These are the type of players that we want in our building. These are the type of players we want to build a football team around. Guys that love coming in every day and getting better at their craft.
That's another Pitt guy, Jones Smith, at right tackle right now. The bounce to the outside. Regis on a flag.
That's going to be a hold.
He gets inside the 5.
I don't know if you know this or not, Beth, but there's a lot of good football players that come out of the state of Pennsylvania. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
There you go.
Like in the house.
Yeah.
Like maybe you've heard of Matt Millen. Maybe you heard of him. Maybe you heard of Rich Gannon from Philadelphia. Pennsylvania. It's where the football players come from. There's something in the water, isn't there, Matt?
There is. I think it's the coal.
Well, it worked for Dan Marino and Joe Namath. Weren't they from the other side?
Absolutely.
Yeah. They're Yunzers. We're used guys.
Used guys.
Jim Kelly.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Jim Kelly was a tough sucker. Man, was he tough. All those guys were. Montana's out there.
Oh, Montana.
A lot of guys from out there.
Johnny U.
Johnny U.
Oh, a little receiver screen. He's got a block. Down inside the 10. DJ Turner's getting a workout tonight.
I like him.
6th catch, gain of 9.
Yeah, it's this compact guy. He's got really good strength, good quickness, has a nice burst.
You know, the Raiders can't keep all these players, but there's players that we're going to see that may not make this team. They're going to wind up in this league. I mean, you talk about the explosiveness, the playmaking ability on offense and defense. We've got a lot of good, young-looking players that have a chance to make it in this league.
Down at 11. Another hole off the left side. Churning his legs. And a first down for B.J. Emmons. Inside the 2-yard line. First and goal, Raiders.
B.J. just lowered his pads and finished that run. That's what you really love to see. Watch this right at the end. He's running inside now. Right here. 1, 2. Still needs the first down. Really well done.
You got to give Tom Cable some credit, the offensive line coach.
Oh, yeah.
He talked about getting off with good pad level, getting up on the second level. We've seen that from every offensive lineman that the Raiders have played tonight. They're really playing well up front.
All right, the fullback Rochek in there in front of Emmons.
This is when football is fun, man. When you get a team down and you just lean on them in the running game.
We'll take a timeout as the Raiders talk it over, trying to punch it in. 7:40 to go in the 4th. Stadium is home to the largest Raider Image store located at the north entrance of the stadium. The Raider Image is the official team store of the Raiders with the goal to provide the best selection of official Raiders merchandise to fans around the world. You can also order your favorite gear online at RaiderImage.com. All the latest gear to get you ready for the 9 regular season home games coming your way here at Allegiant. Take your show on the road as well to follow the Raiders. So here they go from inside the 5. They'll try and go over the top in the push. B.J. Emmons across and in. Touchdown Raiders.
Nice surge. The whole group just kind of fell in. Well done.
I think those young offensive linemen aren't excited. Watch them come off the ball and then watch them celebrate in the end zone.
Yeah, that's nice.
You see our guy Jimmy Morrissey. He's right in the middle of it.
Morrissey's right there. Groshek is in there.
See, the tight end does a nice job. Bushman, he knocks his man into the end zone. And that's always great to see the the veteran players. Kenyon Drake, he's going to be a great addition for the Raiders.
That kid is legit. I really like him.
8 plays, 43 yards, just over 5 minutes. They take advantage of the short field. And the Raiders score their second touchdown of the night.
That was the points they needed.
7:37 to go.
Jets coming. Carr puts some air under it. Wide open is Ruggs for the touchdown. Miraculous. No, he didn't. Carr and company needed a miracle, and it's the rookie Ruggs.
Now the late game heroics. Our friend Spiro Ditas on the call that fateful day in New York. Carter Ruggs, the late game winner. One of the highlights for the Raider offense a season ago. And with 7:37 to go here in the fourth, the Raiders on top. We've got Henry Ruggs with us on the headset.
Henry, how are you? I know that you were chomping at the bit to get out there tonight. Just talk about last year and what you learned in your first year as a Raider. You had 26 catches. I know they're pedestrian-type numbers for you. What can we expect from you in year 2?
We can just expect better. I mean, that's the biggest thing. I've been pride myself on getting better in every category I can as a receiver and just as a professional athlete. So, I mean, the first season was, I mean, it was just a start. That's all I can say.
What did you work on specifically this offseason? I know the importance of release. I mean, even getting in the weight room, getting a little bit stronger, a little bit bigger. Right. Just talk about some of the areas specifically that you've worked on this offseason to improve from a year ago.
I mean, the biggest thing was, like you said, the physical strength and just being a total receiver. I mean, the route running. Of course, I feel like I have great hands, but I gotta, I just gotta get my route running down and slow the game down in my head.
What have you learned from some of the veteran players that you've added? You brought in guys like John Brown and Willie Snead, who both have had some experience and some success in this league.
The biggest thing was just never let the game get too big. Never let the moment get too big. Always be yourself and, just play the game you love.
Henry, the one thing that you always take a jump, right? From college to pros, the difference between college football and pro football, as you see it, what was the difference?
I mean, one, like I said, these grown men. I said it once before.
Big guys.
I mean, and it's like everybody's professional. There's no fall off anywhere. So you have to be, on top of everything because everybody's a gifted athlete. Everybody's talented. So you have to be on top of the technical things, and you have to study and be into the game mentally also.
That's a big piece. That's what I wanted you to say. Because this game at this level really is from the neck up. You have the requisite skills, but you got to know this game inside and out and be on the same page with everybody else on the field.
Right.
Well, the other question we have for you, Henry, is as we watch Keyshawn Nixon here with a terrific pass breakup. The Alabama takeover of the Vegas roster continues. We got Kenyon Drake coming in, Bo Scarborough coming in, and your teammate most recently, Alex Leatherwood. What do you love about the youngster that Raider Nation is really going to appreciate?
He's a winner. Everybody, we all know each other. Of course, we all came from the same program, and we all understand each other, and we understand that we got to do whatever we got to do to build a winning culture everywhere.
Last one from me, Henry. Just having fans in the stadium once again. I know how weird and awkward and uncomfortable it was for you guys last year, not having that real home field advantage. What's going to mean to you guys this year to have the Raider fans here for 9 regular season games?
It means a lot. Just walking out the tunnel today in pregame, just getting a little sweat going with the guys, and just seeing fans, seeing all the towers out here, and everybody just excited to be here, and everybody just screaming. We got some of the best fans in the nation, and it's definitely showing.
Last one, Henry. What do you hear in the back of your head from Nick Saban every time you're on the field?
Oh man, I mean, it's so much, but the biggest thing is you just hear him just calling me. He's just, hey, 11, hey, 11. I mean, you never know what he's gonna say. All you just know he's just addressing you. That's all.
All right, hey, have a great one, and thanks for taking some time with us. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Henry Ruggs getting set for his second season in the Gruden system and with the Raiders.
I'm expecting big things from Henry and from Brian Edwards. They need to take the big step forward. And
biggest thing, Rich, for those guys is all from the neck up.
It is.
That's a lot of stuff. You got to get on the same page with your quarterback. You got to understand how defenses are playing you. You have to understand your individual battle. You have to know how to adjust to everything and do it on the run.
You know, you just had the 26 catches, but his 17.5 yards per reception.
Timeout.
You know, offers, I think, a glimpse into what he's capable of. I mean, he is a big play threat. He's a guy that can stretch the defense. He can take the top off of the defense. We saw that big catch against the Jets. And
72-yard TD in that KC win.
Yep, I expect more of that from him. He is an explosive route runner, and his route tree needs to grow in year 2.
That's a great way to put it. So here's the bottom line, right? No, it's an old Raider rule. This came through the original Raider rule was cheating is encouraged. What that really meant was find a way to win. That's what that meant. And that morphed into know and do your job. But knowing and doing your job in pro football entails a lot of things in every facet of football. And when he gets to understand why things happen and how you can make the adjustment, then you become a pro.
And that's so important when you're out there thinking and not reacting. You know, you get a lot of young players are out there that are thinking about the release or their assignment. And in year 2, hopefully some of that thinking goes away, and now it's just reactionary. You're just, you're anticipating. You're not thinking. You're anticipating what the check's going to be. You're anticipating what the coverage is going to be.
Number 47.
You got to become a professional, and that means you have to own this stuff. You got to bury your head in this. You got to study it. You got to, and look, most people will look at film and say, hey, I'm watching film. And that's exactly right. That's what you're doing. You're not processing it. You're just watching it. Usually about your 3rd to 4th year is when you can finally make sense of what's going on.
It's not enough to know your job. You need to know what the other 10 players are doing on the field. You also need to know what the guys on the other side of the field are doing. And that's when you get to that point, that is when the game begins to slow down.
That's what Gerald McCoy was talking about this week. That's what I loved about him.
Hey, there's Bo Scarborough getting a call. A recent addition in the backfield. 3rd year out of Alabama, 7th-round pick in 2018. Another guy that won multiple national championships with the Crimson Tide.
He's got some size to him. I like it. 6'1", 235 pounds. He can knock you backwards. You bring him in late in the game, Matt. He's a you know what he is? He's a chiropractor. He adjusts necks. He's in here to adjust your neck and your back if you're in the white jersey. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
He's a finisher.
Yeah. Earl Campbell was a chiropractor. Yeah. John Riggins was a chiropractor.
2nd and 3.
Watch him head downhill and knock somebody down. You need a finisher. You know, you need a guy that can, you talk about 4-minute offense, because something where the Raiders struggled a year ago. You know, you look at, you lost 3 games in the final minute and 45, where you can put some of that on the defense. Defense couldn't get off the field. Defense couldn't stop. But offensively, you got a chance to win the game and to close them out.
Yeah,
that's
like
what
situations like this right here.
Yep.
Like 3rd and 1, you got to win.
Look at the job they've been doing on 3rd down tonight. You mentioned it, a shortcoming earlier, Rich. They're 10 of 15, though, so far. Something they wanted to shore up from a season ago. They tried the end around, and falling forward is DJ Turner. Looks like he's got it.
That was the strength we were talking about with DJ. Did a nice job, put the brakes on, make a quick move back inside. Defender was right there, but he was able to spin out of it a little bit at the end. Well, it's right here, see?
Just a second effort.
Yep.
The 3rd and 1 was a problem a year ago. They were dead last in converting 31 situations. They converted 46%. The NFL average was almost 75%. You think 3rd and 1, back in the day, we put Zach Crockett in there, and we handed the ball to him, and he knocked somebody on their back. And the Raiders need to find a back that can do that. Josh Jacobs has got some punch to him.
First and 10. Oh, yeah.
Marv, you know, when I hear those guys' old names, I just always go back to everybody had a nickname, right? Marv Hubbard was Rooster. How he got Rooster, I don't know. I still see him every now and then down in Florida, in Ponte Vedra. He lives down there. He'll be with a bunch of guys, and I'll say, "Hey, Rooster!" One head turns. It's him.
Raiders content to work clock here with the 27 lead, approaching 2.5 minutes. More of Scarborough up the middle. Good performance by Nathan Peterman. He ends up to date right now 28 of 38, 237 yards. Had the one pick, but he hit 11 different receivers and had 5 or 6 throws of 15 yards or better downfield.
And Beth, you know, he had to play with 12 or 15 different offensive linemen, 3 or 4 different tight ends, a number of different backs, probably 8 or 9 receivers. So he did a really nice job managing the huddle, and that's important.
This is the 2-minute warning.
2-minute warning. Preseason opener, Raiders and Seahawks. Tonight's play of the game is brought to you by San Miguel Casino. Zay Jones with the catch. 21 yards from Nathan Peterman.
A really good-looking opening drive. A couple great throws from Peterman. Really nice route by Zay Jones. Knowing exactly where he was on the boundary.
And that's tonight's play of the game, brought to you by San Manuel Casino.
A really nice night by Nathan Peterman. Just the one mistake, but otherwise, nice job taking care of the football, managing the game, changing protections, changing plays at the line of scrimmage. Some good reps for the 5th-year quarterback.
Most importantly, he looked comfortable doing it the whole time.
Case Cookus is the new quarterback. Undrafted free agent.
I saw him last week. You know where I saw him last week? In Minnesota, wearing a Vikings uniform. Kirk Cousins had COVID, so they signed him. This is a crazy business. You know, 1 week you could be in Minnesota, next week you're in Las Vegas. You just never know where you're going to get your opportunity. He just learned some of the play calls this week in practice. Undrafted quarterback out of Northern Arizona. He's with the Giants, with Denver this offseason, Minnesota. And now he's with the Raiders. Had some practice time this week because Marcus Mariota was dealing with a thigh contusion.
Not only that, he hurt his leg.
Yeah, something like that.
Something like that. I'm a big Marcus Mariota fan. I've liked him since Oregon.
He did some good things last year when he got the opportunity to play.
Oh, yeah.
You know, the depth of that position is so important. And I think the Raiders finally feel good about the depth that they have in the quarterback position.
I think in a lot of positions, it's probably the best depth they've had in a while.
Raider fans, you can also have the opportunity to tour Allegiant Stadium if you'd like. The other night, Rich and Matt went on a tour. Experience this behind-the-scenes journey through Raiders history and culture, filled with surprises you could only find in Las Vegas. Visit AllegiantStadium.com/tours for more information. What'd you guys think of your tour?
How about that picture there? Isn't that a classic? But yeah. No, this place is just off
phenomenal.
The charts. I mean, it's incredible.
It's phenomenal.
I mean, the locker room, the concourses, the press box, the broadcast booth. It's just, we didn't miss a single thing.
You know, I said at the start of when we opened the game, Al Davis wanted to get on even keel with all the other owners in this league, and he struggled for years. And then Mark put this thing together, Mark Davis, and came through with this stadium. And this place is as good as there is in the league. This might be the best stadium in the league.
And the fans deserve it, Matt. You know, the fan experience here is incredible. And, you know, nothing against Oakland, but that stadium got a little long in the tooth. And I just think this experience for fans on game day, there's nothing like it. The tailgating,
the amenities, the opportunity to be here in Las Vegas with all the entertainment capital of the world. It's just and the facility. I mean, as great as this place is, their training facility and headquarters has to be the best in all of football.
Yeah.
And I mean, that is a competitive advantage when it comes to free agency and recruiting free agents and developing young players, and have the facilities that are state-of-the-art. The outdoor practice fields, the indoor practice facility, the weight room, the training room, the equipment room, the dining room. I mean, it's just
and it's not only the physical part, it's also what they've added. I mean, this is a completely different organization than what we had, even 10 years ago. The things that they're doing in the weight room, the things that they're doing in the training rooms, it's just state of the art, cutting edge stuff. So it's a big different look.
Jaden White will up to his feet.
Little stinger.
Yeah. Well, it's been a pleasure to be a part of the crew that could help bring you the sights and sounds of this historic night. Out in our production truck, Mark Shaw, Paul Davis. Behind the scenes doing all the heavy lifting, Brad Finney, Marcus Padilla, Stephen Camacho, Nicole Marney, Vittorio DiBartolo. Here in the booth with us, Russ DeLint, Ted Kozak, Brent McCormick, our entire crew. Been a pleasure, fellas. We got 2 more preseason games to go in LA and San Fran.
Can't wait.
LA's fine, but it ain't home.
Something to build on here for sure,
Knew you were going to get some choir practice in there.
Absolutely.
I knew it.
Now I'm with you on that one, Rich. I think this was a good start for this Raider team. Now, it's not without mistakes. There'll be things they can correct, but they found their depth got a lot of nice work today, particularly Nathan Peterman.
They were clearly ready to play. When they came out, the energy was terrific, the tempo, the pace and the speed of play. It was very noticeable between these two teams. That's what Coach Gruden has been talking about all off-season. We want to be the first of the punch.
This has to be a fine in Kangaroo Court, is it not? Calling the timeout here with 25 seconds to go. I mean,
gonna mention that, but
people have money to spend and beverages to consume. I think here in Las Vegas.
Matt has a flight to catch.
My arms get tired around Kansas City, man.
Pete Carroll,
he'll be ready. This team's a good football team.
They are.
A well-coached team.
12-4 a season ago. Know what they're doing up there in the Pacific Northwest. Won a lot of football games.
Raiders looking for a stronger defense and a chance to finish drives, finish games, finish the season. Well, that's the big word moving forward. Finish.
Finish and consistency. Just be consistent. The good news, I think, is there is good depth here, like Rich, you mentioned that earlier, and it's quality depth. First 2 groups, that's rare in pro football. So you don't have to have the best guys, you just have to have hungry guys and some guys who have some skill that you can utilize. And then the other thing you have to be able to do is match your scheme to your skill. Once that happens, you've got a chance. Nothing worse than a coach who comes in and says, I want him to do this, and he can't do it. What good is your scheme? Your scheme doesn't make a bit of difference then. That's what Coach Madden was great with.
Seahawks looking for one last chuck, and they'll end up just throwing it underneath, and that'll do it. On this historic night in Las Vegas, the reopening of Allegiant Stadium with Raider Nation on hand. And a preseason victory for John Gruden and the Las Vegas Raiders. They take care of business. Back for some final thoughts when we return to Allegiant in a moment. 20-7, the final. The Las Vegas Raiders win over the Seattle Seahawks. Thoughts, guys, on on the effort tonight and the victory for the Raiders, Rich.
Well, my first thoughts are how this team started really on both sides of the ball. Really impressive performance by Nathan Peterman. Took advantage of some great opportunities and some great practice reps. And Matt, I thought some young players along that offensive line played well.
Yeah, I thought that was evident. That the biggest thing that I might take away is they looked like they knew what they were doing. There were a few mistakes, and they played fast. Playing fast is a huge advantage. That was one of the things they emphasized all through training camp, and I think you saw it tonight.
Well, for Matt Millen and Rich Gannon, I'm Beth Mowens. So long from Allegiant Stadium. The final, the Raiders beat the Seahawks 20-7. Be sure to catch our next telecast next Saturday night at 7 o'clock when the Raiders travel to Los Angeles to take on the Rams. Thanks for watching our coverage of Raiders preseason football on your Las Vegas Raiders television network.